welcome back to my channel. Here we are going to be working on the sectional views of this object. We are going to construct its sectional views as we have two cutting planes here. So we have cutting plane AA which goes in this direction like this, and the arrow is pointing in this direction. This is also pointing in this direction. So it means that when the cutting plane cut it like this, we have to remove this part and want to see what we have left on this face here. Okay, so then we also have the cutting plane BB which goes in this direction. So it goes like this. So that means the cutting plane as we have it here, the arrow is pointing down here and it's also pointing down here. So we are removing this upper part and want to see what we have left looking downward here. So let's start with that of the cutting plane AA. So what we are to do, we are to draw something. So we have to draw this. We are going to draw something like this. So together with this one. So and don't forget that the cutting plane touches this solid part. So the cutting plane does not touch this face. So let's take note of that. And then it cuts this solid part. So I'm talking about the part that we are going to hash when we are done. So so let's start from here to here is 60 millimeters. And the thickness of this solid part, as I can see it here, is so from here up is 30. So from here up is 30. So from here down is 30. That is broken as we have it here. So it is 30. So it means that from here to here is 15 millimeters. From here to here is 15 millimeters. So let's take note of that. Okay, and then this surface that the cutting plane does not touch, it is 15 millimeters, and from here down is also 15 millimeters. So this is how we are going to do it. So what we are going to do first, so as we have here, so we are going to draw a horizontal line. So we draw horizontal line from this point to this side. Okay, so we draw it to this side, and then at this point we are going to draw a vertical line. So we draw a vertical line like this. Okay, so on this vertical line I'm going to take a measurement of 15, 15, 15. So 4 15s. So that's what I'm going to take. That's the one, that is 2, and then here we have 3. Okay, then we have 4, so making 60 millimeters. Okay, so we have these distances. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to draw horizontal line from this point. So I have to draw a horizontal line from this point to this side. Okay, and then so coming up here, I will also draw horizontal line to this side. And at this point, so at this point here, I will draw a short horizontal line, just a short horizontal line like this. And then so at this point also I will draw a short horizontal line like this. All right, so so the next thing that we are going to do, I want us to work on this end part. So I want us to work on this end part. So this time from here to here, as we have it here, is 20 millimeters, and it goes up from this 15 down to this point on this line. So I will take a measurement of 20 millimeters from here. So this is 20 millimeters. So I'm going to draw a vertical line. So we draw a vertical line from here down, okay, to touch this line. So we have that. Okay, and okay, so other surface that we have here, so I think I need to bring it down here because for the thickness of this part is also 15 millimeters. Okay, so we need to draw. So the cutting plane does not touch this surface, so we are going to leave that surface unhashed. So what I need to do now, so I need to draw this line. So we need to draw it. So and then so I will extend this line. I will extend this to this level. I will extend this line. I will extend it to touch this line. Okay, so all right, so then the next thing that we are going to do here, I want to bring the object. Okay, so let's take the distance. So the total length is 80 millimeters. Total length is 80 millimeters. So we have to take a measurement of 80 millimeters. So we come down here and take 80 millimeters forward. This is 80 millimeters, and then we draw a vertical line here. So this vertical line will go up to this level. So this is how we are going to have it. Okay, so looking at what we have here, I think we have drawn all that we need. So for this surface, which is a solid, okay, and which is going to be hashed, so we have it from here to this end. And then for this surface here that the cutting plane does not touch, so we have it like this, and with together with this part here, so the cutting plane does not touch this one. We are only hashing this surface and this surface. But before we hash the surface, let us bring out the thickness of the outlines, edges, and feasibility. Alright, so what we are left with is to hash the solid surface. So as I said, this is a solid part that the cutting plane cut, so we are going to hash this surface. But this surface, so from here to this part, so that is from here to here, this will be left unhashed. So while this solid part will be hashed. So that is what we are going to do now. So let's do the hatching together for section AA. So we are going to make them to be in the same direction. So hatching lines, as I said, they are drawn with thin continuous line and they should be equally spaced. So that is what we are doing right now. So we are hatching this surface, okay, and then so I will add one more, okay. So then coming down here, so we also produce hatching lines on this surface, okay. So these are the solid part, these two surfaces are the solid part of the object that the cutting plane cut in the object. So that's why we are hatching it, okay. So the surfaces that the cutting plane does not touch, so we leave them unhashed. So that's why we are not hatching this surface. So let's take note of that, okay. Alright, so we are moving on, so producing the hatching lines on the solid part of the object that the cutting plane touches on the object. Alright, so this is the last one. Alright, so we have this section AA here. So let's go and look at how we can work on section BB. So for section BB, so where the cutting plane, it cut off this part. This is how the cutting plane goes. So it goes like this, okay, and it cut off this upper part because the arrow is pointing down, okay. As we have it here, the arrow is pointing down. It means that this is removed. I want to see what we have left on this surface here. So what we have to do is that we are going to draw this surface. So we are going to draw, this is going to give us a rectangle to this end. So we are going to have this rectangle to this end, okay. So the cutting plane does not touch this surface, it doesn't touch this surface, it doesn't touch this surface, and then it doesn't touch this surface, and also we also have a surface here that we are going to, so we are going to draw the plan of the object, okay. So that's what we are going to do. So let's see how that can be drawn. So what we have to do now is that I'm going to do some draw some line from this elevation or sectional front elevation. So from this point I will also draw a vertical line down, okay. And coming to this point here, I will draw a vertical line, okay. So we have this, then I will come up a bit and draw a horizontal line. So this is the horizontal line from here to here. So another thing that I'm going to do is to take the width. So the width of the whole object, so the width is 70 millimeters. So I'll take a measurement of 70 millimeters from here down. So this is 70 millimeters here. So here we have 70 millimeters. At this point, I'm going to draw horizontal line from here to here. Alright, so then, so the next thing that we are going to do here is to produce this surface. So let us look at the dimensions. So the distance from already, so this part that the cutting plane touched, we have already taken its distance from here to here, which is 20 millimeters. The only thing that we have is that we need to take the distance from here to here and from here to here. So the distance from here to here, as I'm looking at it, Okay, so looking at this, okay, we come to the middle here. So distance from here to here is 30 millimeters. So it means that from here to this end is 20. So that means distance from here to here is 20 millimeters. So we have to take those distances. So I will come to this end here and take a measurement of 20 millimeters up, and then 20 millimeters down from this point, 20 millimeters down. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line from here. So from this point we take it to this end, okay, and also so from this point, so we draw the horizontal line from here to this end here. So other things that we are going to put here, so that rectangle that the cutting plane does not touch, so we need to take its distance. So as we have here that distance from here to here is 35 millimeters, so I have to come here, take 35 millimeters forward. So why the rest? So when I take 35 millimeters from here to here, so the rest will be meant for this surface. Okay, so let's do that. So we take a measurement of 35 millimeters from this point forward. This is 35 millimeters. So I'm going to transfer this distance from here. I will take it to this point, okay, and then I will also draw from here to this point here. Alright, so that is what we have there. So all that we need for section BB is already here. So as I said, so we are going to hash this surface. So we are going to hash this surface. That is the solid part that we have here that the cutting plane cut off with this part. So this is removed. So we are going to see this surface being rough. So we need to make hatching lines here, and we also make an hatching lines or hatching lines on this surface. So why this surface, this surface, this surface, this surface, and then to this end here with this one, the cutting plane does not touch them, so we are going to leave them unhashed. Alright, so let's hatch the two surfaces. So we're hatching this surface and we're hatching this surface for section BB. So that is what we have to do next. So with the 45 degrees set square, as I said that the hatching lines are drawn with 45 degrees set square. So they are drawn within continuous line, equally spaced as I'm doing it here. So very simple, okay. And then the space between the hatching lines, you are not to be measuring that, so just use your eyes to do it as I'm doing it here. Okay, so we have hashed that surface. So here also, so we hash this surface like this. Okay, so I've talked about the surfaces that are not to be hashed, so which the cutting plane does not touch. So that is this surface, this surface, this surface, and then so the one beside this, so the rectangle beside this one, and the one at the front are not to be hashed because the cutting plane does not touch them. Alright, so this is how the section BB will look. Alright, so we have made both the section AA and section BB. It's as simple as I've done it. Thank you and God bless you.